Hello guys, I'm Miguel Sanchez. Welcome to the World Blocks. Man, how do I feel like you? Anyway, I'm coming to you from my Cassiola vacation home here in Orlando, Florida, as we're halfway through this Walt Disney World vacation. So yeah, thank you for coming. We're glad you're here, and I hope you will too. So thanks for having fun, and thanks for sharing your life, your moment, and your laughter with us here on the World Blocks. It's been a week since our last episode, which was Getting the Point Across, Chapter 3, Forced Interaction, but now we're ready to bring it to you. So let's get started. If you haven't seen that episode yet, I'll leave a link to it on the top corner of the screen. You'll see the info simple way for you to go rush right now. Alright, are you ready for this? Alright, let's do it. Just as I expected, we're just going to have a whole lot of fun here with this show. And I hope this learns your lesson by now. So, let's get started. Are you ready? Good. Let's get started. Here we go. This is Getting the Point Across, and we continue with Chapter 4, A Bond is Formed. Oh my gosh, we're going to continue on with the story. And I hope you're ready for this. Yes. It's lower. So, yeah. Anyways, enough said. Let's go. Okay, good. Here we go. This is sorry. But before we do, credit goes to Infant Sanity Pit on TV art. He was the one who created all of this. It wasn't me. I don't own any of it. It was Infant Sanity Pit. He was the creator of the series. So thank you, Infant Sanity Pit, for the creation of the series. We're going to go check it out. Link to that will be on the top corner of the screen. Or should I say, no. Wrong. You want to go check out his page? Link to that will be in the description below. So thank you, Infant Sanity Pit, for the creation of the series. And one final thing. Warning, Rainbox is the property of Bluetooth Animation Studios, Outblocks Limited, and the BBC, which of course is the British Broadcasting Corporation. No copyright infringement is intended. I owe nothing. You have been warned. Thank you so much. And now, enjoy the story, everyone. Let the story continue. The World Blocks, Getting the Point Across. Chapter 4, A Bond is Formed. The next morning, three had formulated a plan. Now that she and God of Point were on speaking terms, she could teach him all about Infidia and possibly convince him to abandon his plans to take it over. Hey, it was worth a shot, and what else was there to do while waiting for Iris? When she went down to the kitchen, she saw the God of Point was using his powers to conjure up pancakes, piling as many toppings onto them as possible. There was the standard whipped cream, chocolate chips, and strawberries, but then there were pancakes topped with ketchup and mustard, pepperoni and tomatoes, and even spaghetti and meatballs. A slightly disgusted three turned down a spaghetti and meatball pancake dish. Blocks are typically vegetarian, she explained. Some blocks eat fish, but Star Blocks are the only ones who regularly eat meat. She recalled an incident at a dinner party where Orion had brought in a roasted turkey, which shocked several people. Most humans wouldn't bat an eye at such a thing, but the thought of killing and eating a living creature disturbed quite a few Blocks. God at a point ended up eating the spaghetti and meatballs plus pancakes concoction, with three settled for a stack of 3 pancakes covered in chocolate syrup and bananas. The ones were busy taste testing the other pancake experiments. After breakfast, 3 decided to start up a conversation with God at a point. So, still want to take over Infidia? Of course, it's my domain, isn't it? Then again, God at a point thought that everything was his domain. 3 sighed. How much do you know about this world? I know all the different types of blocks and lands they live in, he answered. And this Irish lady is their queen, because apparently Infinity chose her to rule over everyone. She should have chosen me, of course. The only thing stopping 3 from strangling God at a point was the fact that he had no neck. Infinity is the creator of Infidia. Then why isn't she ruling it? Because she's dead. She's still around though. Yes, yeah, but she doesn't have all her powers as a ghost. How did she even die? I tried to explain the whole story yesterday, and you turned me out. Are you willing to listen to me now? Well, You did pretty much save my life last night. So fine. And so got up a point, and the ones followed 3 to another room in the castle, where they all sat comfortably while she recounted the tale of how Infinity created Infidia, filled it with life, was murdered by negative Infinity, transformed and transformed her Neverlink into the Golden Infinity, so he would hold her power. How did Infinity come to life? Asked Lillian, the blue one. Nobody knows. Not even Infinity herself, replied 3. It's just one of those things you have to accept. I won't accept anything without an explanation, said Linus stubbornly. Well, you're not getting one, 3 told him in a catty tone. Okay, but why didn't Infinity kill Infinity? Asked Luna, the yellow one. She's the opposite of Infinity. If Infinity is purely good, then of course Infinity is purely evil. 3 went on to recount how she and the rest of the Step Squad met the Vowels and went to the human world to find Iris. That black block who attacked us last night, his name is Darkness. He's the guy we helped Iris fight. Of course, I did most of the damage to him during the battle. Even got up a point could tell that this last statement was a lie. Next was a recap of how Iris had gone out to unite all the blocks of Infidia, and how negative Infinity's return had forced them to band together against her. She again claimed to have dealt the most damage, and some of the ones that couldn't help but roll their eyes at this. Then came 3's recounting of the apocalypse, as she was one of the blocks who'd been killed and corrupted by negative Infinity. She couldn't remember what happened very well, only knowing the story thanks to what the others had told everyone. Needless to say, her listeners were horrified. Oh my gosh, what kind of horrific universe have we been brought into? Cried Linus, the green one. What if those murder robots break into the castle in the middle of the night and take our souls? Fretted Luna. I'm too young to die, shouted Layla, the other one. Relax. Nobody's seen the negative robot since the apocalypse ended, 3 assured the group. And besides, negative Infinity is too tightly chained up to do anything now. The ones were still scared, but trusted in 3's words. Got up a point, meanwhile, was trembling with fear. Now he knew how terribly wrong things could go in this world. But hey, if he ruled it, he could prevent anything like that from happening again. Well, thank you for that, said God up a point, a bit awkwardly. So I better get back to planning my takeover of this world, because I'm sure there won't be any more apocalypses with me in charge. 3 scowled at him. Nobody's gonna accept me to rule. Iris is the rightful ruler of Infidia. Infinity herself said so. But I'm supposed to be ruling every... Okay, stop. 3 thought back to what he said shortly after becoming a block. You said you were the whole universe? There was nothing else around before I got turned into a block, so I had every right to believe that. Got up a point, said defensively. It was only me and my thoughts for years. 3 felt bad for him upon hearing this. No wonder he turned out this way. He never had anybody to give him company or teach him right from wrong. As much as she hated to admit it, she probably would have turned out the same if she didn't have the other number blocks. Then she remembered that the Golden Infinity would have to go back to Iris eventually, and became horrified when she realized this would force God at a point to go back to his old life of being unable to perceive anything but himself. She definitely wanted the outcome that would save Infidia and allow Iris to keep her title. But then again, that would pretty much spell God at a point's doom. Hey! Why don't we try to do something fun? Asked 3, thinking that she might as well make sure God at a point enjoyed himself as much as possible before he'd be forced back into solitude. But I have a plan for my I have to play out my domination. God from point protested. Relax, it'll be easy with your powers, said Three dismissively. She really did want him to have fun, but part of her just wanted to distract him, while Iris and the others worked out how to be him. But in her heart, she hoped they'd be taking their sweet time. XXX. Are you crazy? 12 was not in the mood to make the negotiation with darkness of all people. He only take the God of Infinity for himself once we dealt with God of Point. I know it's risky, but we need all the help we can get here, said Iris. Besides, he's gotten his tentacles on the God of Infinity before. But we can snatch him right back from him if he tries to take it. 12 and the other blocks were still apprehensive, but they trusted Iris too. They're too much to protest further. However, Iris herself didn't trust her own judgment here. As a part of her worry that teaming up with darkness would lead to even worse consequences. This truce was certainly an act of desperation on both sides. Iris took a deep breath and walked over to where Darkness and his followers were waiting. The minions looked hostile, but none of them dared attack Iris when she and Darkness were currently allied. Alright, so what's the plan? Iris shrugged. I was thinking we attack Guided before his castle and catch him off guard. And catch him off his guard. Darkness gave a scoff. Yeah, we tried the same thing. You need to come up with a better strategy than that. Hey, we're supposed to be working together. Why aren't you trying to come up with anything? Isn't the Queen of the Blocks supposed to have all the best ideas? Iris growled. You've been to the castle. Why not tell us about its interior so we can map out a way to infiltrate it? Okay then, agreed Darkness. We didn't get to explore much of it, though. As Iris and Darkness worked out their strategy, the former's thoughts wandered to Three's predicament. She'd been told that Three was helping God of Point, and Darkness had eventually suggested the possibility of her being brainwashed. However, the shady block was known for his trickery, and sounded more like Three had been just panicked by Darkness's attack as God of Point was. Still, she hoped Three was alright, and the God of Point hadn't done anything so horrible to her. XXX. Meanwhile, Three was trying to get God of Point in on her idea of fun, which was, of course, juggling things. Three was doing just fine, as she'd been talented at it from the beginning and had years of experience, but poor God of Point was struggling, still new to being able to hold anything. Should we have started with just one ball? He asked. The 3 balls he'd been given, bouncing all over the place. Three rolled her eyes. It's not juggling if you just got one thing. The ones were all watching this unfold, and upon seeing that their boss was starting to get frustrated, they decided that it was best to try something else. Are there any other ball-related activities you two could try? Asked King Langdon. Three thought for a second. I suppose I'm a half-decent football player. The blocks moved over to a bigger room, where God of Point used his magic to set up an entire football field, complete with 2 goals and a ball. Three, Layla, Lily, and Lula were on one team, and God of Point, King Langdon, Queen Linda, and Liam were on the other. Linus was keeping score, albeit without any enthusiasm. 3. Having played on Lemon's football team before and having some experience with the sport, played pretty well. In fact, she was the best player out of the entire group of blocks, since most of them were only starting to get used to even having legs. 3 easily scored several goals against the opposing team, mainly because Liam was too cowardly of a goalie to try blocking her shots. 3's only goalie, Luna, fared significantly better, but was still unable to stop a few shots from getting past her. God of Point, in his determination to stay on top, wound up the flailing his legs around like a clumsy idiot, barely making impact with the ball. At the end of the game, Three's team had scored way more than God Upper Point's team, which made the former very smug and the latter very upset. "It's not fair," God Upper Point whined. It's hard to have coordination when you only gained your legs yesterday." Excuses, said Smirky 3. "Just gotta accept defeat." Not wanting this fun little game to escalate into a full conflict, Queenlander decided to change the subject. "So, what else is there to do?" "I don't know," said 3. "Maybe go for a walk in the castle?" This place was huge, and she was somewhat interested in exploring it. It reminded her of how Neverlock Castle was so vast on the inside, and probably still had areas the blocks hadn't found yet. God Upper Point grinned. "My castle has everything. Let's go!" He grabbed Three's arm and raced out of the room, eager to impress her with what he conjured up. Most of the rooms weren't that impressive, just filled with whatever random things he'd been curious about. There were rooms filled with toys, art supplies, and even rocks. Eventually, they came upon a library, which was filled with books that God Upper Point most certainly hadn't read. A thought occurred to 3, reaching this palace. Do you know how to read at all?" "No, but I can figure it out by myself," exclaimed God Upper Point. "Yeah, you can't," replied 3. "Maybe while we're here, I can teach you and the ones." God Upper Point tried to protest further, but the ones stopped him, eager to know how to read so they could find out what sort of knowledge these books held. They 3 got started with a book about the alpha blocks, and though God Upper Point grumbled a bit, he couldn't complain too much about this. At one point, Linus had a question. "If the alpha blocks can make any they spell appear, what would happen if they spelled out a cuss word?" A few scenarios that went through Three's mind, and they all disturbed her to no end. "Let's just hope that never happens," was her response. After the blocks all seemed to have a good grip on the letters and their sounds, they wanted to know more. Can you tell us about the other numbers?" asked God Upper Point. "Sure," replied 3. This day was going quite well, considering that God Upper Point seemed to have forgotten about his conquest about Infidia. His curiosity here was almost adorable. Starting at 0, she began to explain each of her friends in numerical order. Upon reaching herself, she couldn't resist the urge to boast. "As for me, 3, I'm the best and most talented of all the Nerlocks." Upon receiving somewhat incredulous stares, she sheepishly added, "Sorry, moving on." XXX. When the blocks left the library, they realized that night was beginning to fall, and the ones decided to call it a day and head to the room where they all slept. God Upper Point chose to head towards the balcony, and 3 figured out she might as well follow him there. Outside of the balcony, God Upper Point stared up at the stars, finding them just as fascinating as everything else in this universe. How can there be so many of those star things?" he asked 3 when she came to stand beside him. The universe is big," she replied. "Way bigger than you." Whoa! God Upper Point sounded like his mind had been blown. "What else is up there?" "Aliens, beings who live on our planets. Us blocks have met 4 species of them so far right now. There's other planets." God Upper Point's eyes were wide as saucers right now. "I have to see everything," 3 chuckled. The world may be too big for you, buddy. Don't even get started on the 2 other universes I have been to." This statement broke God Upper Point's mind. He fell backwards, lying on the floor of the balcony with a blank expression. I'm in way over my head here, aren't I?" "Yep." 3 helped him up. "You don't need to conquer this world, you know. Besides, people aren't going to listen to someone trying to rule them by force." God Upper Point pouted. but isn't ruling the entire universe what I'm supposed to be doing? You realize you didn't even know there was a universe outside of you before yesterday, right? Oh, right. Got up a point, sighed. What am I supposed to do then? What am I supposed to be doing then? 3 tried. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. Nobody knows how. Nobody knows how or why Infinity came to life. But something that we're all glad happened. Got up a point, unsure what she meant. So I have no purpose, but I should be. But I should be glad that I'm alive. Yep, pretty much. Got up a point, smiled, but then remembered the circumstances behind his transformation into a block. If Golden Infinity would eventually have to be returned to Iris, then he had to go back to being in the dark. Now feeling lonelier than ever because he knew what he was missing now. Seeing his saddened expression, 3 guessed what he was thinking. She took his arm in hers and said, "Hey, why don't we have more fun tomorrow? I'm sure there's plenty of things I could teach you about." "Okay," said Godmother. "Good night, 3. To be continued. And that's it. Whew. After 21 minutes, we are done for today. Chapter 4 is done, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. It's over. Oh my gosh, it is finally over. You better come in. You better come back next time to find out what's going to happen in Chapter 5 of the Water Blocks Game the Point of Quest. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching from my Castiella home here in Orlando, Florida. Check out some other cool videos here on the channel, and make sure you do not miss out on what we have for you in the future here on the channel. We got Moshi Monsters Rising, we got 7 Kid Origins, Logo History, and Logo History 2, and of course Logo Updates, all waiting for you in the future. But for now, all these will come to an end. Thank you for watching. I'm Miguel Sanchez, you yourself, and I will see you next time on The World of Blocks. Next time, the Game to Play Across continues with Chapter 5. What comes next? Well, you'll know what comes next. That's next time on The World of Blocks. So we got our point at 3 still set together. What's going to happen to those 2? You better tune in next time to find out The World of Blocks. For now, thanks for watching. We'll see you for episode. We'll see you for Chapter 5. What comes next? Until then, I'm Miguel Sanchez. Please remember to leave a like, share the video with your friends, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. Please subscribe with notifications turned on so that's another video for me as we're on the road to 500 subscribers. Thank you all for watching. You have a great day. Peace out from my Castiella home in Orlando, Florida. I'm Miguel Sanchez. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys in another video. Laters.